Senior Head Instructor.
Thank you. About to advanced and intermediate students. Welcome. Yeah, die hard. Come on the Monday after
There you go.
Thanksgiving. I know I hear.
We'll work it off, you know?
That's right. Yeah. Definitely. All right. So let's take a comfortable stance. Begin to focus on the breath first. Let the eyes close. You can have the lips lightly sealed and teeth gently meshed together if you like. Inhale, deep, long, slow breath. Exhale through the nose, also slow. Complete exit. Begin to relax the body starting at the top of the head. Relax the neck and around the face, around the scalp. Have the feeling of the head sort of floating on the top of the neck, or lightly balanced on the top of the neck. Let the chest and upper back relax. Relax shoulders. Relax arms and hands. Feel the stomach and the lower back relax. Relax the waist, the hips. Relax the thighs and backs of the legs. Let the knees soften. And relax the calves, front of the shins. Let the ankles, let the feet relax. For a few breaths, pay such complete attention to the feet that you can feel all the tiny bones, muscles, ligaments, tendons. See just how much of the complete, complicated system you can tap into and just be aware of. Lower the hands, open the eyes. Separate the feet to a shoulder width, or a little wider if you like. We'll hold a good 5 minutes today. Go ahead and begin. Sink into it, feel the body connect. As you hold, you might play with the idea of feeling the chi sink to the dantian. might recall how the combination of head suspended, closed chest, lift back can help you focus the chi down to the dantian. You might also remember the idea of not kind of forcing the chi to the dantian, but breathing there and feeling it accumulate. So it's not something you have to really do. Hold for about 90 more seconds. Release, straighten the legs, lower the hands. Circle the arms up, breathe in. Push palms down, breathe out. Let's do a few ride the wild horse, bring the feet a little closer. Begin. It's a little colder, and maybe you're a little rusty after the break. Go easy, stretch through the body. Pay attention to the sensation. Force anything. Breathe. Yeah, 2 more just like that. Continue. One. Okay, cool. All right, so let's do some continuous work as sort of a continuation of the warm-up. Let's go from cross hands through the whole second section together. If you already have the sequence down, see if there's any questions that pop up. Remember, it turns various ways.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while since I went through.
Yeah, for sure. So no rush. We may stop here and there. I said continuous work, but we may stop here and there if we need to. Otherwise, we'll just move. And if you're following along at home and we stop, just hold the posture we stop on like it's a Qigong or an Eikong posture. And I'll call names up. No need to call back though. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Grasp the bird's tail. Diagonal, single width. Looking at the fist under the elbow, or fist under elbow, or short.
Sorry about that, sir.
It's okay, no worries, I'm just checking on the group.
Nobody ever calls me.
Repulse monkeys. First one. Follow through. Take your time. Second one. Feel your hands suspended. Turn. Third one. Slant flying. Good. Lift hands. Follow through. Keep your weight back. 10% forward. Continue. White crane spreads wings. Yeah, brush knee push. Needle at seat bottom. Bend through back. Turn around, strike the back fist. Hidden hand punch. Step with the right, step with the left, punch. It's okay. Yeah, take the final position of the punch. Left foot forward. Good. Continue. Grasp the bird's tail. There we go. Forward off right. Pull back. Now it's like your first one, even though it got there a different way. Press. Push. Good. Single width. Loosen the weights. Loosen the weights. Cloud hands. Transition to cloud hands 1. And 2. Turn. Step. Turn. Step. Cloud hands 3. Turn. Step. Turn. Step. Single width. Yeah, good. High horse. Separate left foot. We may slow down here, just to make sure no one's left behind. I'll try not to leave you in this position. Separate right foot. Good. Strike with left heel, turn. Lift. Balance. Whatever height you kick, balance, tuck, don't come. Brush knee push. Left foot forward, brush knee push. There we go. And another one. Think of like your brush knee push section. And it feels like you do another one, but it's brush knee. Well, not called that. It's step up, punch down. There we go. Turn around, strike the back fist. Hidden hand punch. This will be like your other one. All ready? Bringing us to our major kicking section. Strike with heel right. Hit the tiger left. Yeah, hit the tiger right. Strike with heel right. Box the tiger's ears. Strike with heel left. Turn, strike with heel right. Hidden hand punch. Withdraw and push. Cross hands. And if we were going to the third section, it would be what? Embrace tiger, return left.
Again.
Again. Okay, good work in here. Feeling very focused, very plugged in together. Good job. Okay, since it's testing week, I know it's testing right now, at least if someone online is, I'm sorry if the word didn't get to me in time, but communicate through the normal channels and let us know, and we'll make sure to get on top of it, even the week after Thanksgiving. Yeah, can you feel my
Yes, sir.
my intensity there?
Apparently testing is not the same as it used to be 8 years ago, so can you enlighten me, or should I ask you after class?
No, I can try to fill in whatever may be missing, whatever might have changed.
Well, before it was,
Recommendation?
it was just, Master Rowan would see you in class,
Yeah.
and he
And
thought you
that's-
needed a belt, and that's what happened.
So that was the way we did it right up until COVID hit.
Okay.
And now we have a slightly modified version where people kind of recommend themselves, and as long as, I think just because things are not on the normal course path anymore, right? Black Sash graduation, et cetera. So basically now it's recommend yourself, which can be confusing, and I totally understand if that is confusing. So if you're confused and want to have like a one-on-one conversation or have any questions about it,
I'll ask you after class.
typically, if you graduated last time, it probably wouldn't be, or if you've been away for a while and you're still kind of getting
Oh,
back
yeah.
into it. So.
Yeah.
All right, good question. So yeah, it's over 8 years, a lot could have changed. I think the system's pretty much in place. So cool. Okay, so really what we should do then is, I think probably take just the next move, maybe that intermediate was working on, and review that. And then, Mr. Schwing, would you like to stay as one group, or do you want to practice and then I'll come work with you separately? Okay, cool. So who can review me? I know it's maybe been a while, and Head Instructor Durkin covered for me the class before Thanksgiving. So who can review me on what you guys covered a week ago?
Either one, he was here. I was here, but I don't remember.
Okay, cool. Well, let's do this.
You
Let's,
were one or two moves from the end.
yeah, I would imagine so at this point, because you weren't getting into the major kicking section
Oh,
last
yes.
time. You were deep
Yeah,
into it.
almost went to the closing.
Cool. Well, let's do this. Let's start with the end of the major kicking section, the closing. We'll start with the last part. All right, and make sure if we've got that, then we'll go back before that, and make sure we got the part before that. All right?
That sound good?
Okay, so let's go through it instructionally as if no one had ever heard of it before. What's the move before the hidden hand punch at the end? Trivia.
Or the hidden hand punch. I started the hidden hand punch.
Yeah, so you think of that last hidden hand punch, where are you coming from? It's a challenging hidden hand punch because it comes from,
The kick.
I got my foot up in the air and I gotta do the same mechanics through the body to get my hidden hand punch, right? I remember for me this was challenging just physically to get this to turn around without my knee starting to come in and bad things to happen on my support leg. So at first I kind of stepped small, but surprisingly we'll see that if you're lower, kind of like your other moves, you actually have more range to travel, more, you can actually step bigger and more control. So, cool, let's try it together. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, we're gonna be facing away. Actually, I'll get a little closer if you wanna get behind me for this part. That might help. Cool. Okay, if you're at home, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to copy over your shoulder or figure out something else. So go ahead and let the foot come back in and the arm starts to circle. Step out to the T, but it's not really gonna be a T, it's really about the angle of the foot. So if I try to go way back here, it's actually too far. It'll actually be kind of just in front of me. Yeah. And then I'm gonna shift to my right, release the left heel. That's part of the trick to get it to work. Step to your double dragons, and then it's like your other hidden hand punches. And then withdraw and push is the same. Although it might be worthwhile to try to look at it as a white sash frame of mind, kind of, and then cross hands is the same. But maybe we can look at those with a white sash frame of mind too. But let's do the kick transition a couple more times first. Let it come back in. Feel your balance start to turn. Let the foot and the hand go. Release the left heel. Step. Double dragons. Shift. Punch. Step. Let's do it a couple more times together. Hopefully y'all can see me. I'm trying a low kick, just try from different heights. Come in, turn, release, step, shift. Okay, one more time. Release. Cool. Maybe watch it from the front. I know if you're at home, then now you get to see. Questions, comments, suggestions? What do you think?
Wish I could do it like that.
Oh, well, we'll keep practicing. We'll get
Yes,
closer.
sir, right? Yeah.
Maybe
I'll
do
keep
better.
yours.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. So, hint for, maybe it'll help you to figure it out, how it should go in the body. The arm and the knee and the leg are all following the waist. So if you can, with your support leg and your balance, kind of get your waist to start turning, that might help you get things to go in the right place. A little tricky, but try it on your own a little bit. Let's do a little solo practice for 2 or 3 minutes. I'll come around and see if you need help in a second. Okay, release. Questions, comments, suggestions? Okay, I see people working through different like versions of figuring out their balance, keeping their tuck. You know, feeling that lowness, that tuck will help you get the flexibility in your hips to turn like that. So let's just try a little, so I want you to look at this one thing though. So if I touch here, I don't want to, so as soon as I put my weight here, I feel pressure coming into this knee in a bad way. So as soon as I sink to my right, I want to feel the left heel release immediately. And the way to get that will be to connect it through the hips and through the waist. So let's just try that a little bit together a few times. So let's make it all like ridiculously small for a moment. So I'm gonna kick just barely above the ground, bring it back in, make it small, turn the toes, and right as you're about to turn the toes down, or as you're about to put the toes down, start to commit your weight to the right and release the left heel. And at first it might feel unbalanced, but if you're looking down, it'll actually make it worse. But let's try that a couple more times together. So I want it to feel like the committing of the weight causes the other to release. Committing the weight to the right causes the heel to release. Next step. And at first it might take the form of I decide to put it there and then I decide to release it. But you want to see if you can be balanced and commit and let it release on its own. So just try that a couple more times. Make it small for now. Oh, good, better. Yeah. Good, yeah, better. Okay, just a couple more. I don't want you to have to do this move too much. Yeah, one more. Cool. All right, good improvement. Yeah. Any questions on that, or does that make sense? No, wait, yes. Cool. Oh, yes, sir.
Both feet together or the right foot before the left foot?
Yeah.
As you step down, I find myself working together. As one goes down, the other one comes up.
Well, I guess that might be a semantics kind of thing, because to me, together would mean no, right? And that's not correct. But what you're doing looks correct, where it's like the weight going here then causes the other to release, and that feeling is correct. Yeah, that
That's
is
what I was after. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. Cool. Any other questions on that part? All right, so if we were striking with heel, then what's right before that? Well, I'm assuming no one has questions on withdraw and push, cross hands, feet together. Let's you know, I mentioned looking at it like a white sash. Let's watch me do it. I'm gonna flip it around to the camera too, and maybe you see something different, but try to look at it like, okay, I've never seen this before. Try to just put on that frame of mind. And if nothing comes of it, that's fine. Yes, sir.
So there's no sinking, you're pretty much rotating and that's it.
Maybe. I feel sinking before I begin. I feel like I kind of just transfer it. Might feel a little, no, it feels more like a transfer. Feel a bit of a sink here.
Not much.
Not much. And it might be, you know, this troubled me learning Tai Chi is sometimes you'll see, even in like commencement, sometimes you'll see, do I remember how to do commencement? That's the question. Which style? Yeah. So sometimes you might see like, right?
Mhm.
And then sometimes you'll see someone else who's also, you know, is an experienced practitioner, and it'll look like this. So it's kind of a trick question, but which one of them had sinking in it?
Both.
Both, yeah, so good. So they both have sinking, but in one it's expressed in a more visible, maybe even like just to show you it's there kind of way. And in the other one, it's more internalized. And it might be the hips doing like this little tilt while the feet do some little pressure, and all of it adds up to feeling enough to move the hands. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay, so to apply it to this, the reason I brought that up is I feel that here and here, I'm gonna have to come up at the end, right? But there's definitely not just the arms doing this while the lower body doesn't move, which feels weird, but it's also not really like, it's not like a phoenix spreads wings either, so, yeah. So watch it one more time and maybe that'll clear it up. I know you're making me stand around for too long. So the important part would be feel the connection, feel a little sinking in the body to bring the arms down, feel a little, maybe a little something in the hips to bring the arms up, and a balanced sort of relaxing down through the
So
feet.
there's a little sink to bring the arms down, and then you get that
There you go. Or you could say the arms follow.
upper bottom
the
slope.
legs. Yeah, there you go. Cool. All right, see, we got about 10, maybe 15 minutes left. Not 15, a little over 10 minutes left. Are there any other questions? Let's do this. So here's what we would normally do. We were going to go back to the previous move, but is there any part of this whole section that anyone wants to take a look at again, or has a question about that never got answered?
I still have a problem with the hidden hand punches.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there an elbow involved?
The elbow question, I got you. Yeah.
First one with the third.
Right. Well, the idea of the elbow is there in all of them, but because the arms are coming from a different place, you'll see it more in one than the other, right? So if I'm coming from the first time it's stand through back, I'll flip it to the camera too. Actually, I'll do it in the same direction so you can see what's different, what's not. So fan through back, I'm here. The elbow idea is still there, right? So really I'm shifting and I'm turning and the hands don't change, but you can think of that elbow being there. Then I'm shifting and turning and the hands do change. There's elbows all over it when you really think about it in Tai Chi, like boom, 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 right? So I'll show it to you. A little disconnected, close. And then I think in this one, the elbow just is more visible because I'm coming up before I turn. So I think it just shows more. But if you keep the arms connected and then turn and just let the arms turn with you, they'll usually be in the right place. So, let's do that. Let's do all the different versions of it together. So the first one, stand through back. And begin. No extra step, so that might be part of it, is wanting to take that step with the chop, right? Yeah. So try that one on your own a couple more times, and I'll see if there's anything I can tweak, and then we'll do the next one. Stand through that, very close. Oh, sorry. Oh.
You got me.
Yeah. Make sure you don't. Okay, yeah. Oh, Mr. Barrett might learn a slightly different version too, so that might be part of the confusion. So, slide modification on what you're doing. Do it with me. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, come around like you did, and then come to the left like you did. Now, when you step, you're actually going to walk down with the left first. Okay. And walk down with the left first. There you go. Then you're going to back this, and then you're going to chop. So it's going to seem like too much.
So I'm blocking down with the back.
No, you're blocking me from this side. From this side so you can see me again. Go back that way. Go back that way. Yeah. And you're going to see me again now. Instead of seeing the beginning. Turn. Turn. Block down. It feels weird for a moment.
I'm blocking down.
Backwards.
Back.
that block down as a discrete piece of it is what I was missing.
Yeah, and then, yeah, so it is, feels like a discrete piece, and then getting it to mix in there with the rest isn't, then it's real tricky.
Yeah, it wasn't even kind of in the range for
Yeah.
a while.
Well, that'll make it feel wrong, right? And that'll make it be a trouble move for you, so, yeah.
Okay, you're blocking now.
Here's this moment where, if you watch it direct, here's this moment where you wound up to the left, kind of. I think we did that originally. And then you're gonna keep the back fist there while you block outside of it, then back fist while it comes back, and then chop while it comes back. So it's like a boom, 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 1, 2, 3, as opposed to.
I remember this was all talk, and he was trying to change it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think.
Big drama.
Yeah.
Big drama. And it's, and that, you know, yeah, it's about, I'll talk about that before we bow out, because it's both a big deal and not a big deal, depending on how you look at it.
It's easier when it changes that.
Yeah,
Don't keep me changing stuff on.
Oh, yeah, next year we're gonna modify everything, just so you know, all of it. It's gonna be entirely left-handed form.
Oh, whoa.
One in 10 or so.
Well, that's fine, as long as I test next year and y'all change it, that's fine after the test.
In that case, most of the kicks would be off of my right foot. That'd be much
There you go. Yeah, there might be some advantages to it.
Right footed?
Okay. Well, so I said I would take a look at the other ones. I think we maybe have answered the question anyway, but just for completeness. So here's the second one, where we're coming from the punch down, which the elbow is more clear just because it's coming up as opposed to just back. Now it's coming farther and faster, so it seems like more.
What do we got?
Punch down, yeah, step up, punch down. Yeah, you want to copy me? Yeah, I'll be over here. Keep your center, turn and release. Block. This.
Block is weird.
It is, yeah, it feels like too much arm for the body motion. And that's
I
something I
get it.
struggle with.
That's what you have to do.
But yeah.
One more time.
Question? Yes, sir.
Please.
What's that?
One more time, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Suspended, yeah. It's suspended even on this guy, remember?
Start the lawnmower.
Yeah, start a lot more. You want to step in, step out, you can, but. No, you double drag.
Remember that?
Yeah, so pepper for the turn. Come on, you want to turn.
It's
Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir, I wouldn't turn to the left foot.
I don't know, help you finish it off with that chop. Yeah. Okay, try a couple more times and we'll, let's see. I know it makes you want to take an extra step.
Got it, it's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was enough, but the right took it out a little too much, so it doesn't seem like enough. Yeah, yeah, there you go, yeah. Double dragons. Double dragons. If you want your freeze, if you want your like freeze frames, first freeze frame's here, boom.
Yeah.
Second freeze frame's here, boom. Really, I've released step.
Oh, there's a whip. You kind of bringing all that stuff.
You got it. There's whip happening,
Okay, let me see
you're correct.
again. Let me see again. Hot whip.
Not cool whip. Too fast, sorry. Let me slow down a little bit, let me get a little more control. It's a balance, there's a balance to when it comes down and when you step. We'll get it. Okay, team.
Team?
All right, that's enough on that one. And then, and I guess the last one is between, no, I guess there's only two in this section, huh? Hey, what do you know? That's yeah, two,
Hidden hand punch in the other direction.
What?
For the kick.
Yeah, okay, there is one more, yeah.
There's three.
No, we were doing the turnaround strike with back fist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I said the wrong one, my bad. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk a second about that. So that's an interesting thing that hasn't come up in a while. Yeah, we went through a round of sort of cleaning up the yang style in the school. There was certain moves that were done that I learned in a less traditional way. They were kind of from a more Hawaiian style. There's a Hawaiian Tai Chi. I forget the name of it. I'm doing a bad job of explaining it. But basically what we did is we refined some of the moves to be more traditional yang style, and that's one of them. So traditional yang style, you'll see the turnout strike with back fist to have the block and the chop. And this kind of has this like traditional Chinese martial arts sort of like chain punching, center line kind of feel to it. Makes sense. Feels less connected in some ways until you just kind of reframe it and re-understand it. But no, the reason I brought it up is at the time, it's very frustrating if you're learning one way and then your teacher changes it. It's just a fundamental thing. Like, you really want consistency when you're learning, and it's frustrating when you don't get it. And you can understand why you wouldn't get it. Teachers aren't perfect, right? They may be, done things so long they're sort of absent-minded about certain elements of it. Maybe you've experienced that with me or other teachers you have. So from that perspective, the little changes to the form are a really big deal, right? But from another perspective, it doesn't matter at all, right? If you're moving from your center, if you have understanding of the martial intent of the move, whatever it may be, even if it's kind of unrealistic, if you understand what the move would be like, and you're moving from your center, then you're still getting at the real Tai Chi. If you have the balance, the connection, the relaxation, right? Does that make sense how it kind of, like you need that consistency. It goes back to like Bruce Lee and forms, right? At some point you can say like, you don't need forms, but maybe that's after you've learned and forgotten more forms than I've ever seen in my life and picked up all the fundamentals that were kind of recorded in each one. I don't know, a little bit of a lecture, but hopefully you got something out of that.
So we'll be fine as long as you don't change.
Yeah. I don't plan on revising our yang style anytime soon. I try to improve mine still, so you may see bits of that here and there. But, okay. Cool. Any last questions, comments, suggestions?
Yes, sir.
We got a minute or so. Let's do just a little bit of a chin style qigong. Just follow me. It's nice and it's not as intense as neikong. It's a lot simpler. It's more health, less martial. But let's do the yin yang balancing chi mobilizing method.
Yeah.
You don't have to remember
No.
that name. You don't have to remember that name. But start with your right hand kind of low and your left hand kind of like prayer position. And I'm going to be your mirror for this. So turn to your right, open the arms. Sink elbows, turn back, and then let the hands come by each other, almost like you were going to squish them together, but then they pass each other, and then you're in the opposite. So now your left hand's low. Turn to your left, open, sink elbows, turn back, like you're pushing and bringing in, almost like you're going to squish the hands. And then there's breath, inhale, hold breath, sink elbows, exhale, squish. Inhale. Hold breath, sink elbows. Exhale. Turn back. Continue. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. I'm going a little fast just because I'm in front of people. But sorry. Exhale. If you do this at home, try to go slower with deep breath. In. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Okay, we'll do one more each way. 2 more full deep breaths. In. Hold. Release. In. Hold. Bonus question, does that remind you of a move?
Yes, but I can't think which one.
So imagine if I was walking backwards while I did it.
Yeah, probably.
Close.
Close.
Okay. Anyway. I like those a lot. Seems like a good cool down. Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah. Path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. Focused mind sees no obstacles. Path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. Path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. Focused mind sees no obstacles. reserved up to advanced and intermediate students. Black Sash training dismissed. Good job.